Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to come in and run my mouth and talk about some people. Now, listen to this. I get online today, and I'm looking for some mess, looking for some people to talk about. And the first thing that pops up was a picture of Karen Huger. When I tell you, my whole heart dropped down to the bottom of my feet. Girl, I thought I thought that I was reading that Karen had went home to glory. That's what I thought that I was reading, but that's not what was said. It was just the headline, Karen Huger, and then it was a picture of Karen standing right there with her purple dress on, and I said, "Oh my God, not today!" Right? So it wasn't that, thank God, but it was this. This is according to TMZ. RHOP star Karen Huger breaks silence on car accident, cites emotional state. Now, before I get into the update, I'm going to give the original post. We're going to talk about the original post. Karen Huger was involved in a scary crash this week. With officers telling us she wrecked her car so badly, it is no longer operable. A representative for Montgomery County Police tell TMZ the Real Housewives of Potomac star was driving a 2017 Maserati late Tuesday night in Potomac, Maryland, in what they described as an aggressive manner. Too fast for the conditions, they say. Police say Huger struck a median and a crosswalk sign at an intersection before continuing on and colliding with a park sign off the roadway where the car came to a rest. We're told the airbag deployed in the car, but no other passengers were in her vehicle. No word on whether she or anyone else was injured. The car itself was allegedly damaged so badly it couldn't be driven, and a tow truck was called to retrieve it. The extent of the damage is not yet known. Cops say KH received multiple citations, unclear exactly what they were for at this time, but we're told she was not arrested. We've reached out to Huger, a main cast member on all 8 seasons of RHOP, about the accident. So far, no word back. Now, this article was updated today at 4 p.m. Karen Huger tells TMZ, "Thank you for all your prayers and well wishes during this very frightening experience. I'm still in shock from last night's accident, but grateful to be alive today. With the passing of my beloved mother, grief comes and goes in waves, and with the Mother's Day approaching, it has felt more like a tsunami." She adds, "Last night, I met a girlfriend for dinner. We talked and brought up some very emotional, sensitive topics. I was crying on my way home and saw a car heading right for me. I swerved to avoid the head-on collision, hit the divider, then a tree. I'm hurt, bruised up a bit, but I'm so grateful I am alive. I did receive citations, one of which was unrelated to the incident, which is understandable. But what was most surprising is that the car that almost hit me drove away." Karen finishes by saying, "I would like to stress it's important to understand your emotional state when driving, and may this be a reminder to all of us to all of us, to all to use their seatbelts. My mother may be my guardian angel, but the seatbelt saved my life." I'm not gonna lie. Before I read that update, I was over here with some of the other messy girls and boys online thinking it was a little, I was like, girl, the Grand Dame done had a couple too many and then got behind the wheel of the car and pulled a Monique. Remember? Remember Monique? Remember Ashley telling us that Monique got behind the wheel of the car and ran that car in the ditch because she had too many cockies? Uh, but that's not the case. Karen says that, and I also honestly, all messiness aside, I don't think Karen was drunk because I mean it's a possibility, yes, that Karen could have been drunk and I guess somebody could have pulled some strings and let her go. But I really don't believe that Karen was drunk. I just don't see Karen being drunk and causing this much chaos and damaging a car. And of course, she's driving, and girl, they just let her go. I just don't see it. So I don't think Karen was drunk. That was my initial thought. But we're a little messy, right? And then, if we're going to be honest, based off of what they've said on Potomac about Karen getting drunk and calling them, and then the stories of Sharice telling us that Karen was shipped away to like I think an Alcoholics Anonymous place before. It did cross my mind at first, but once again I stopped being messy. I was like, I don't think that lady was drunk. And then I started thinking maybe it was a family emergency and she had to get home. But she tells us that it's due to her mother, and that was the cause. I'm just happy that she's okay. And quiet as is kept. Girl, can I say something about these cars? Girl, these cars are made of foil paper, girl, and Gorilla Glue. You can bump a girl stop sign and your whole front car just be dented up. So even with the car being damaged where they had to tow it away, that doesn't mean that girl, the car was smashed from the bumper to the back seat. Right? She did some damage probably, but clearly we're not gonna sit here and act like Karen ain't a woman of a particular age. Yes, a seatbelt saved her life, but if all she got was a couple of bruises, a little banged up, I don't think. Like I said, cars are made of foil paper and Elmer's glue. So I think when you start to hear like, "Oh my God, the car, you can't even operate the car," she must have really. But it's kind of like, girl, Karen is 60 years old. I, if it was that bad, Karen would be in the hospital. I'm sorry. At 60, shout out to Karen. Anyways, let's move on. Um, we talked about this the other day, and now Nene Leaks has released the text messages between her and Peach Juice. All right. So this is according to the Neighborhood Talk. Alleged text messages show Porsha accused Nene of choosing a side in her divorce from Simon. So it looks like Porsha allegedly explained why she decided to not appear on the Upshaws with Nene Leaks. Now these text messages come from Straight from the A. Shout out to Straight from the I remember back in the day. Girl, this was when I used to work at this electricity company. And this was like when I first kind of like started getting into like the blogs, and like Straight from the A was one of the blogs I used to always run to. Nicole Bitchy was one of the other blogs I used to run to. Bossip was another one of the blogs. I used to love those blogs. But anyways, so yeah, this information is coming from Michelle Brown from Straight from the A. And this is what the alleged text messages say. Hey, Porsha, I hope you are doing well. I am shocked to hear that we have issues and you didn't want to work with me. Wow, just wow. We have double dated a few times, Vegas, Miami, your home, etc. It's sad to hear. We have hung out in Dubai. You were texting me about housewives. This is sad. We are black women that need to work, not stopping each other from working. And then Porsche allegedly texts back, excuse me. Yeah, all that and through all of this. And this is your first text? How? Who and how TF do you even check on Lut Sis? Even said you chose a side. And I'm good with that. People weird as F. I've shown loyalty time and time. Did you show loyalty when you walked into your coworker's home and walked out with her husband and her henna say? Did you show loyalty when, girl, the first thing you decided to check on was not your coworker, but, girl, her husband when they were going through a divorce? Y'all swapping down that Nene ain't a girl's girl. I don't think Portia's one either. Ain't Porsha the same one who sat at a table and let Phaedra say that her best friend was screwing Candy and Todd and she was engaged to be married? All right, let's move on. I just want to add that little part. I've shown loyalty time and time. I've also shown concern and genuine love during all of your hardships, but I never get it back. It's cool though. When people move differently, so do I. And then Nene texts back, you are wrong in every way. You went extremely too far. Nothing you are saying is valid enough to go to a production company and say you do not want to work with Nene because we have issues in the past. I gave you your space. I don't want to invade your privacy. I didn't want to seem nosy. I wanted to wait until I see you in person. I was excited about working with you. As far as Neone and Simon are concerned, they have their own relationship and I have nothing to do with that. I only speak to, and that's when it stopped. Now, I am curious to know the rest of that text message. Okay, because y'all uploading the I only speak to, and then it stopped. What was the rest of that text message? And did Porsha respond? And what was her response? I don't care how you slice it and dice it. I'm still standing on it at the end of the day. I don't give a damn what Nene did or did not do. It has nothing to do with going to a production company and telling them that I don't want to work with her because we have issues in the past. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Nothing to do with nothing. Like I've said, Porsha probably thought that she was at Bravo and she thought that she was going to be protected and she probably thought she was going to get her way. And once I mentioned that Nene is hard to work with, they'll probably say, oh, girl, we can just get rid of her and we'll keep you. And they probably just told you, oh, okay. Girl. And from what the streets are saying, they were already asking different housewives for the job anyways. So at that point, they just wanted housewives. Girl. A housewife, some housewives, a couple of housewives to just come in. I think it's dirty. I think it's wrong. Your personal, this type of situation has nothing to do with going to work. And if Porsha did not want to work with Nene, let's validate Porsha's feelings. Porsha felt like her friend was not there for her. Cool. How does that then translate to you going to a job and saying, I don't want to work with Nene because we're having issues? Why not just say, or have your agent say, there's a conflict going on with the schedules. We actually had something else planned. We can't do it. Or, oh, I'm sorry, we're no longer able to, do the gig. You didn't even have to mention Nene's name. You could have just left Nene's name out of it and just pulled out of the project altogether. But you mentioned Nene's name, and that's why I said the last time, that's why she needs her ass whooped by Nene. Quiet as this kept. But y'all swerving down, girl. Anyways, it is what it is. I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Porsha is dead ass wrong. Nene in this situation is 1,000% right. 1,000% right. And please don't get in my comments talking about, oh no, because girl, we pull on Nene's wig too when it needs to be pulled on. Hello, girl. We might be tugging on it next week because I'm sure she's gonna do some shit that's gonna piss us off. Anyways, Nene right, Porsha is wrong. Y'all have a good day. Bye, y'all.